Nintendo's E3 is right around the corner, and even though we received a big blowout of games in the February Direct, there's still a lot that remains unknown. But before we jump into my predictions, please like, comment, and subscribe if you like this kind of content and would like to see more. Okay, so let's go over everything that we already know. Nintendo Switch Sports was a big announcement in the last Direct, but it already came out back in April, so I doubt we'll see it in this Direct unless they want to announce the golf update. But even if it is shown, it would probably just be a really short clip. Moving on, we have some games which we saw in the previous Direct but haven't been released yet. I thought that some of these games would get a follow-up trailer in the June Direct, but that no longer seems to be the case. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and Splatoon 3 are huge games that were announced last Direct without release dates, so I was sure that we would see them both receive a new trailer along with the date. That was until Nintendo dropped new trailers for both games with their release dates back in April. Mario Strikers Battle League has also received a follow-up trailer going in detail about the gameplay, and Fire Emblem Three Hopes has received 4 new trailers since it was announced, with there potentially being more to come. It's still possible that some of these games could receive another trailer, but since we know so much about most of these games, there isn't really a reason to see more. So now that we've already seen at least 2 trailers for a lot of the newly announced games, we have a mostly clean slate to work with. I really think we're going to see a lot of new stuff in the upcoming Direct, which is very exciting. Now with all of that said, let's jump into my predictions. I'm going to start by covering a few games that we already know about but haven't heard much about recently. The first one that comes to mind is a sequel to Breath of the Wild, which was recently announced to be delayed back to spring 2023. We caught a glimpse of some footage in the delay announcement, but we haven't seen anything since last year's E3. I think it's pretty likely that we'll see at least a little footage in the upcoming Direct, since it's been a full year since the last trailer. Another game I expect to see is Bayonetta 3. We finally got the first trailer of the game back in September, but it was missing in the last Direct. I think there's a good chance that we see another trailer for the game with more details about the story. My next 2 predictions are about DLC. I believe the new Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Track Pass is a lock. I'm unsure about when it'll actually drop, but a reveal of the courses is a guarantee to me. I think getting these course pack reveals are going to be similar to how we knew every Direct we were in for a new Smash reveal. I also think it's possible that Mario Party Superstars might get DLC. It's been a few months since the game has been released, and I think Nintendo knows that only having 5 boards isn't very sustainable. It was data-mined to have DLC, so I'm hoping we finally get an update. Alright, so from here on out, we'll be diving into complete unknown territory. I'm just gonna throw out some games that could be possible, or it could be a complete stretch. The first series I want to talk about is one of my favorites, being Fire Emblem. After Fire Emblem Three Houses released in 2019, we've been waiting a long time for the announcement of a new Fire Emblem game. In the February Direct, we were surprised by the reveal of Fire Emblem Three Hopes, a warrior-style sequel to the first game. Even though I think the new game looks interesting and has a lot of potential, it still doesn't hold the same excitement as a new mainline Fire Emblem game. There's been a lot of rumors circulating recently from notable insiders that have stated that Three Hopes will not be the only Fire Emblem game to be announced this year. I'm a little bit skeptical on this because getting 2 Fire Emblem games announced in 1 year is unlikely, but it has happened before. If this information is true though, I'm not sure if this game would be revealed in a June Direct. It doesn't make a lot of sense for Nintendo to highlight a new Fire Emblem game right before Three Hopes releases on June 24th. Because those games could clash, I think if there were to be a new Fire Emblem game, it would probably be announced in a September Direct. Another rumor that's frequently talked about is a new Donkey Kong game being developed by the Mario Odyssey team. I'm not really sure how credible this rumor is, but it's been 8 years since Donkey Kong has received a new game. Nintendo is currently riding off the success of another 2D platformer, being Metroid Dread, so maybe they'll opt to keep the trend going with the new Donkey Kong game. If it really is being developed by the Mario Odyssey team, there's a chance it could be a 3D game, which would be really interesting. One trend that Nintendo has followed very strictly in the past is releasing a new Zelda game every year. Now that we know that Breath of the Wild 2 won't be out until spring 2023, it leaves an opening for a new Zelda game this year. We know Nintendo loves to port games from the Wii U onto the Switch, and 2 games that still haven't been ported are Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. I'm not sure if it'll be both games or just one, but these games have been rumored for years, so I'd say that this is somewhat likely. Some other games that have been rumored for years are Pikmin 4 and Metroid Prime 4. It's been 3 years since Metroid Prime 4 restarted its development, so it's possible we could finally see it. But what I'd personally like to see more is the Metroid Prime trilogy to be remastered and ported to the Switch. A lot of players got their first introduction to the Metroid series with Metroid Dread, including me, and are looking forward to another Metroid game. Even if Metroid Prime 4 can be a standalone experience, I like to get familiar with the gameplay style and story before I jump into the fourth installment of a new series. And when it comes to Pikmin, I honestly think it's very unlikely that we'll see it, but you never know with Nintendo because sometimes they throw in curveballs. And when it comes to curveballs, it kind of feels like each direct brings back a beloved series, whether it's Metroid, Kirby, Switch Sports, Mario Golf, or Mario Strikers. One notable series that's been out of the limelight for a while now is Star Fox. As of now, Star Fox hasn't received its own Switch game besides Starlink Battle of Atlas, which isn't actually a Star Fox game. I think it could definitely be a surprise in an upcoming direct which would catch everybody off guard. Alright, the final game I want to talk about is a potential new Mario game. As we know, the Mario movie will be coming out soon, and even though it's been delayed to 2023, I could see a new game being announced to build up hype for the movie as well. In terms of the game itself, I'd assume a new 3D Mario game along the lines of Mario Odyssey, but I think a 2D game would be interesting as well. We already have Mario Maker to make our own levels, but I want to see Nintendo make a new 2D game with brand new mechanics that can't be replicated in Mario Maker. Either way though, it's really been a long time since a new Mario game has come out, and seeing as we're getting sequels for some games that were released in 2017 like Breath of the Wild, Xenoblade 2, and Splatoon 2, maybe Mario Odyssey could be next, but who knows. Well, that's all the predictions I have, but let me know what you think. Are we going to see some trailers of games we've already seen before, or will they all be new? Which games are you expecting to see, and which ones do you hope to see the most? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share the video for more content just like this.